it's a tostada of truth and a Taco Bell of belligerence. Yeah, poetry, people.
A lot of T's in that.
I know. Law. All right, so Mo Tucker is a Tea Partier. If you don't know her, she was the drummer for the hippest band ever, the Velvet Underground, home to Lou Reed, Nico, and John Cale. An inspiration to druggies and slackers. No band was cooler, and every group you hear now pretty much ripped them off. But holy crap, blogs have now found out that Mo hit a Tea Party rally last April where she railed against the administration. Take a peek.
I'm furious about the way we're being led towards socialism. I'm furious about the incredible waste of money when things that we really need and are important get dropped because there's no money left.
So what happens when the coolest cucumber thumbs her nose at the vintage T-shirt wearing status quo left? Whining and lots of it. Here are some choice laments from wistful bloggers. I was really heartbroken because I love her solo albums and had always interpreted the lyrics to be fairly liberal. I'm spending the day in mourning for Mo. No. I wouldn't put it past Walmart to put an additive in the employees' water fountains that turns them into Tea Partiers. Lots of working stiffs are Tea Party members, more fools they. So if indeed it's Tucker, she's getting shafted by a new boss now. And I still love Mo. I can only hope that she, like so many others, are being misled into voting against their own interests. Love you, Mo. Don't be fooled. Poor things. Apparently these bozos can't be happy unless every single pop legend or rock star shares their predictable worldview. But this ostracism is driven not by coolness. Instead, it's a sheep mentality, something real rebels always mock. But there's a bigger message here. What does it mean when a member of the most naturally subversive band of the last 40 years shows up at the most naturally subversive movement in recent memory? Given the shocked reaction, you realize where true rebellion lives. It's wherever Mo's at. And if you disagree with me, you're a racist, homophobic, mellophobe. I can't remember what a mellophobe is, but I'll look it up. Ryan, is the Tea Party the largest counterculture movement since the 60s? The 60s?
Mel Tillis.
Yeah, I channeled Mel Tillis.
Melvin.
Yeah. I think she fits in perfectly with the Tea Party movement. I mean, think about it. She was for free love. Now she's for a free economy.
Yeah, basically the same thing. Yeah,
exactly. She wants to keep the money she saved on condoms. She doesn't want to give it to the government.
That's a beautiful thing. Larry, why is it that only cool artists, you got like Johnny Rotten, David Mamet, Larry Gatlin, aren't the cliched hippies? They're always the ones that kind of step out of that.
Hey, I just decided, you know, I'm a pretty cool cucumber.
Yeah.
Musical cucumber.
I agree.
And I never thought it was about whether you were a musician or not, or whether you were trying to be hip. It was about what do you believe? What are your basic values? I have trouble with the first guy, the blogger you had on there, whatever. If you're really in love and crazy about the lyrics in a drummer's solo album, this just in, there aren't any lyrics in a drummer's album. They play drums, doofus.
I don't know, she might have a good beat, actually. I think she did a couple of solo records where she sang, but I can't be certain because I was high during that period. Angela, what does this say about the Tea Parties in general that they would attract somebody like this?
It attracts all types of people. And you know what, I'm just going to say this. As a Tea Party supporter, not member, I was even called a tea bagger. I mean, I've been called so many ugly, nasty, stupid names.
Ryan apologizes for that, by the way.
Ryan, thank you. Thank you so much.
Hanging out with Greg one night.
Thank you for apologizing.
I was called a teabagger before the movement even began.
Okay, I'm not going to even go there, my friend. I'm not going to even go there. I'm not going to go there.
College was rough. You pass out, you don't know what people are going to take a picture of, Angela.
Greg, just go.
It's not my fault. I'm in La La Land. I don't know what's on my forehead.
Bill.
All right? So you're offending me and my kind right now.
I am so sorry.
Continue.
Great.
Sorry, America.
You know, it's actually, he's got a point there. You have been very quiet through the last year about this, and you've been simmering with discontent.
I have never called them that.
Yes.
I find that personally offensive. I will call them lots of things, but I will not call them teabaggers because that affects me personally, and I know there are photos out there. So I'm not going to set myself up for that kind of backlash.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. That's the only reason why you've never called him that.
The worst part is the person that would do it to it always be smart enough to cut his head out of the picture.
All right.
So I'm the only one implicated.
I think we should end on that, Larry. I'm a little scared. All right.
I just want to give you a high five because I've never been speechless, but you did it, my friend.
No problem. Why did you touch my forehead? Were you worried?
All right.
Yeah.
So is it time to rethink our thoughts on cannibalism? Angela McGlowan explains her new cookbook. But first, what's going on with these chicks? I'm totally hanging with him after the show. If by hanging means staring at their picture and furiously masturbating. Burning Down the House. It's not just a hit single by the seminal 80s new wave band, the Oak Ridge Boys, but the sad result of an unpaid check as far as Gene and Paulette Kranick are concerned, and they are. The South Fulton, Tennessee resident never paid his annual $75 fire protection fee, and so when the barn went up, the fire department stayed home. Indeed, despite numerous 911 calls by the Kranicks promising to pay whatever the cost, the fire chief would not budge. Said the unrepentant town mayor, David Crocker, quote, "Anybody that's not in the city of South Fulton, it's a service we offer. Either they accept it or they don't." So can the Flaming family sue? Let's go to Fox News legal correspondent, extreme swinger guy, for comment. What say you, ESG? That was some hard-hitting analysis. Ryan, was the fire warden right? Rules are rules, right?
Oh, I don't know. This is a curious one. It was $75. He actually showed up, right? He showed up and watched it burn down.
Yeah,
That's nice.
it's
Like,
pretty hardcore.
yeah, like, hey, that's your house. Should have paid the $75.
Exactly.
I think everyone in that town paid double that day.
Yes. I mean, I was watching another network, and they were saying this is proof of the harshness of capitalism, Larry, that this is what happens, like, with health insurance. We don't help people. That's BS.
Oh, that's total bunk. I mean, good luck. My 6 months in law school will not qualify me to pass a legal judgment about that. My 62 years as a human being say that this, this is awful. I feel for these people. I wonder what their county tax rate is, that they should be provided certain basic services. The story went around in Tennessee one time that the fire truck was a little late getting there, like the house was burned down, and the old man was sitting out there on a stump, and he said, "I want to thank you, SOBs, for saving my lot."
Well, maybe, Angela, maybe they didn't pay for the fee because they really didn't like the stuff they had.
Maybe they didn't pay for the fee because of the economy today, but at the end of the day, we've gone down to the bottom of the decency barrel when you cannot help out a fellow human being.
Well, that's the thing. If you weren't a fireman and you were walking by, you would have helped him out. That's the essence of individual responsibility.
Exactly.
It's not about collectivism. It's just about being a good person.
It's about being a good person, and two, you have volunteer firemen, but then also, hey, we pay for them.
Yeah.
We just passed a bill in Congress to help save their jobs, and they're not doing their jobs.
It's like cops, though. It's like, it's like cops have to do, cops, if a homeless guy who doesn't pay taxes is being beaten up, a cop is going to jump in the same way if you don't pay stuff for your home. Speaking of Bill, you must be ecstatic over this because you have no home.
Yes, and I'm often being beaten up. Thank you, cops. Why pick on me?
I don't know.
It's so easy. First of all, $75. My Con Ed bill is double that, and I don't even own an air conditioner.
Well, you're talking about your convict friend Eddie.
Yes. I keep paying him out of any type of situation he's in. So yeah, the common decency would say that they had neighbors coming in helping them with garden hoses, but that wasn't enough. So common decency dictates that.
Right.
But the frustrated arsonist in me is like, let nature take its course. Sit back, maybe get some popcorn, and enjoy the fireworks.
How lucky was the fireman that no one died? Because then this would be a story that would be huge if somebody had croaked in there.
It would be huge, but I still think the family has a right to sue. I really do. I think the family has a right to sue. And I think that the hearts of the world has become hardened. I do. Because when you don't stop and help people.
Well, the thing is, it wouldn't be a story if everybody was if we were like, yeah, cool. I mean, it does show that people are, and the thing is, they use it as like an idea that this is how evil capitalists work, that you have to pay something, and if you don't pay for it, you're suffer.
And look,
no, people chip in, people do things. The firemen should have done.
Well, this was like a scene out of the gangs in New York. Remember when the firemen show up and they're fighting over who's going to put out the fire, and then no one puts out the fire?
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's one of my most favorite romantic films.
It really is.
Yeah,
that love scene between Leo DiCaprio
now, if this happened in New York, I would believe it, but down in Tennessee and the southern area, I mean, we're still good southern folks down there, you know?
Yeah, but you guys
put the fire out with hospitality.
Exactly, and a smell. Would you like some more?
Huh? It was a barbecue. They didn't realize
Is that what it was?
Get some ribs.
Okay.
But that's not true. Look at my cousin's cousin, the other side. Their truck, furniture truck, caught on fire, moving van, and total strangers walked up and jumped into the back of the moving van and went and pulled their possessions out and throw it. You know,
and
total
then ran
strangers.
off with them.
He actually
I'm sure they're homespun.
killed everybody. Stole
Yeah,
the truck.
exactly.
It was beautiful.
Hold
Beautiful.
on, thanks for the couch.
Yeah, there was a good. Yeah. There
You're
you
going
go.
to hell.
All right. We are already at hell. Do you have a comment on the show? Email us. It's redeye@foxnews.com. And to leave a voicemail on my direct line, call 212-462-5050. Still to come, the halftime report from TV's Andy Levy. A lonely, lonely man. Boo.
Tonight's halftime report is sponsored by face sharing, the process by which two mammals exchange faces for an extended period of time so as to gain a better understanding of one another. Thanks, face sharing.
Tomorrow, what's Miller's angle? Dennis gives his take on Nevada's race between Reed and Angle. Plus, in it to win it, can Christine O'Donnell survive the fight for the first state? Dick Morris dishes on Delaware's midterm on the O'Reilly Factor.
Welcome back. Let's find out if we've got anything wrong so far. For that, we go to TV's Andy Levy. So, Andy, how are the quads feeling?
Left one is fine, Greg, but the right one still, the whole leg's still not good.
Ah, well,
Yeah.
it's a shame.
Yeah.
Thought
Probably-
maybe that massage would have helped.
No, it's probably at about 56% right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's up for 47.
It is. It was at 47 last week, I believe. Yeah.
Excellent. Great.
Yeah.
Great
Yep.
news for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And people concerned about your quads.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Times Square bomber gets life. Larry, Greg asked you why Faisal Shahzad should live, and you said you don't think he should. But he didn't kill anyone, and in fact, I believe once he was convicted under federal guidelines, the life sentence was mandatory.
The life sentence is mandatory in the state of New York?
It was a federal. It was
Federal,
a federal.
okay, yeah, it
Yeah.
was a federal.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Don't go.
Kill him anyway.
Fair enough. Fair
Take
enough.
him to Texas. We'll kill his ass.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Once you secede, you can do what you want.
That's hey,
Yep.
you know,
If at first you don't secede.
try and try again. We are the only state in the union that has in the articles of joining the union that says we can secede.
Yeah. Ryan, you raise a good point. If you're a suicide bomber and you're still alive, you suck at your job.
Thanks. Appreciate that, Bob.
Absolutely. Look
Look
at me.
over there.
Look at me.
There you go.
Andy demands eye contact.
It hurts his feelings.
Angela, you said we have to keep in mind that the actions. Actually, no, you didn't say that.
Get it right, baby. Get it right.
You didn't say that at all. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not going to talk about it.
Okay.
Larry, you said you've been insulted in worse places than this. You really haven't.
Yes, I have.
No.
I did CNN one time.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. By the way, I am losing track of the number of Muslims who I have to remember don't speak for Islam.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's a long list. Christine O'Donnell's not a witch. She's you. Here's my question. If she's not a witch, how can she be all of us?
Yeah, I was just
Hey.
saying that was a spell.
Yeah. All
A
right.
sexy spell, I might add, because
Yeah.
I think she's marvelous.
I know you do.
She bathes in virgin's blood.
Oh, as if you haven't.
No, are you kidding me? These crow's feet aren't going to get rid of themselves.
Ryan, you said O'Donnell says she's just like us, but you would never have made that commercial. Also, given her feelings about masturbation, she's clearly not you.
Yeah. I didn't realize we covered that, but
Yeah.
must have went over my head.
Yeah.
You're not covering it right now. This is a kid's show.
I actually think all political ads should be legally required to start with the candidate saying, "I'm not a witch." I think that would be good. I'm not a witch, and I approve this message.
There you go.
Yeah.
What about warlocks?
I guess you could substitute that.
Yeah.
Sexist.
That's fine. Bill, you referred to her at one point as Senator Christine O'Donnell. Not yet.
It's a matter of time. She's got it in the bag. Much like decapitated cat heads. She has those in the bag as well.
Horrible.
He knows he's a witch.
It's a witch thing.
Horrible. Witches do not decapitate cats. They only
You don't
make
know
30
that.
of them, as Greg pointed out earlier.
Delaware witches do. You're speaking of Massachusetts witches, sir.
Okay. I am, by the way, Bill, I'm told this is the first time since Elizabeth Proctor ran for Salem Town Council that a political ad has started with, "I'm not a witch."
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
History.
Yep.